Yeah, we met. So some familiar faces. I'm going to get this right over here. I think one other thing I could use is some water. I forgot to bring a bottle. There we go. Hi.
Apologies in advance. I may get up
It's
early
okay.
and leave to go to an event.
You're fine. You're fine. I'm glad you can hear for part of it. No, you're fine. Yeah, there's lots of things going on today. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Need anything else?
I am ready.
Okay, great. I'm going to do one last pass downstairs.
Yeah, that's better. Hey. Happy to be here. Yeah, this is fun. I didn't realize you two, I didn't know you're all in the same congregation here. From the theater. Their big theater. I missed your sermon. I should have just come. And then I heard you didn't have a pianist. I should have just showed up.
I know. Actually, I think you could just fill in.
Oh yeah, I could just play whatever. No problem.
Well, I think we'll go ahead and get started. I'm delighted to know a few of you already know Mary Jane Knight. I got to know her, I don't know, maybe 3 or so months ago. And we have developed a wonderful friendship
so fun.
with a lot of shared interests. And Mary Jane does practically everything, right? You're a composer and singer and actress and writer, poet, and she's going to be telling us about that as well as spirituality and music. And so
take it away. Hi, everyone. Hi, it's so nice to be here. I grew up with a father for a Presbyterian minister, and both of my grandfathers were ministers. And so my journey has been as a church musician and as a mom and as an educator and as somebody who has absolutely obsessed about singing and playing the piano since I was very small. So, I think that my presentation and sharing my music and a little bit of my poetry today feels very Advent-like because, Advent is when we go into the dark. And we go into the dark to find that light. And really I released my first album last March, and then I just put out this book, which is kind of my own spiritual journey in poetry called The Light Between the Lines. And so all of my work has come from actually my own dark night of the soul, which lasted a whole lot longer than one night. But I think deep down, the roots of religion and spirituality. My maternal family is Mennonite Brethren, and actually my paternal grandfather started out dirt poor, sharecropping kid from Arkansas, and he was in high school already preaching. And so he was like a Baptist minister, and I always imagine him just hitting the dirt roads at 18, just kind of an evangelist out on the road. But he never was able to complete a college degree because of having a family with my grandmother, but he was so read and learned that he realized his theology had grown beyond the Baptist hellfire and brimstone, and he wanted to become a Presbyterian minister. And Presbyterians are very you have to have that education. It's like, I think it's like 4 years of seminary instead of 3 or something like that. Well, he went to the Presbyterians and he said, I really want to become a minister. We said, well, we can examine you for 3 days straight. And so he was examined, and he knew everything so well that examiners were really impressed with him. So he became Presbyterian. So I have Presbyterian roots and almost, Amish Mennonite brethren, Anabaptist roots. And when I hit the hardest point in my life, moving, not knowing anyone, going through a divorce, having to have shared care of my kids that I had sacrificed my career to raise, and then my mother getting diagnosed with terminal cancer, and then not being able to find a job that I really loved in the area, and I was kind of stuck in this area. So in so many ways, I felt trapped and in the dark. And Christianity got me so far, but there was a cage I still felt was there. And so I think this journey deep into the depths of darkness was my way of just breaking away everything, every construct of not only religion, but of career, of what it means to be a mom, what it means to be a daughter of a minister, what it means to be a church musician, a woman, and I just kind of let it all go. And it was real dark. It was really dark. But that's when my creativity hops in. And so I am going to start with this song, which I wrote because in the dark, it's so lonely. And I thought, what if I could put into musical form what it feels like to be in the depths of darkness, but then move into a place where you can breathe and you can find your freedom within. And so not to scare you off, but we're just really going to dive into the dark here at first, because I think that this song is called Breathe, and it really encapsulates that first part of my journey. So, oh, God, I got the mic right there. There you go. Shallow breath and fear, tied under my breast, nervous despair anchored in my chest, trapped in a cage I can't break free. Darkness and fear, anxiety captures me. Spiraling down, 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 lost in space with no solid ground, wishing for a branch to rescue me, but no one is there, no light externally. Deep within, down, dark in my soul, pain and longing indescribable. Breathe, just breathe. Remember to breathe, 'cause deep within I am free. Spiraling down, 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 lost in space with no solid ground, wishing for a branch to rescue me, but no just breathe. Remember to breathe, 'cause deep within I am free. Thanks. So, when I started really delving into the creative, when I left the church, is kind of my last layer that I broke, because I felt like I could do so much in one congregation, but imagine what I could do without the boundaries of the liturgy and the songs that are usually sung, and what if I took it bigger, right? But there's a lot of who knows what, just sitting and waiting. And so I would sit, P.S. I hated writing when I was growing up. So during this process, writing was it just had to happen. That was the only way I could get through. And so it was kind of one of this do or die. But my creativeness, then I started to just sit and try to completely quiet my mind and just see what would whisper to me through nature or through angels or whatever. And so that I started doing it semi-regularly, and this is what this book is 3 years of kind of poem divinations of whatever came to me. But this one I love to tell the backstory. This is called Shedding Armor, and it's really kind of encapsulates a lot of this journey into the dark of night and the unlayering. And but what was really cool about this is I had started writing it, and then a storm came. So I was sitting in my sunroom, and so you can probably imagine a storm coming during this. The light is dim today. Clouds and the sounds of tires through wet streets. Breathe. Just breathe. But sorrow seeps into my chest, and my heart wound burns and stings as it radiates outward. Each heavy breath feels like I am wearing chainmail. Is this holy metal the sorrows of the world? How do we walk with this weight of armor? Yes, it is safer. Wrapped in the heavy metal of protection, wounds inflicted cut less deeply, but it remains very dark inside. Only in the fleeting glory of battle can we conjure up enough inner strength to feel alive. What if we take off the armor? Contemplating it is sheer terror. What will protect us? How will we survive? Shedding the armor hurts like hell. Dark winds arise and all is loose. Our spirits are free, but the howling wind penetrates so deeply that we cannot help but cry out, why? Leaves flutter and branches jump alive. The first drops of rain pound down. A strange lightness breaks into the clouds, and the healing waters start to flow. Whether calmly or in torrents, healing begins with dark clouds and seeps in slowly. If we took off our armor and were suddenly struck by divine light, we would go blind like Saul. True healing comes slowly, ever so slowly. One flicker at a time, growing with eternity, expanding our souls to see the dark and the light at the same time, teaching us that our flame within never dies. Yeah. So the second part of my album is tied into my long history of music education and how healing I feel like music is. So some of the songs on here are really meditative, a little bit like the end of that first one, and they're almost like an affirmation. And I'm really excited that hopefully in the next year I'm going to create a whole album of affirmations that hopefully can be used, even in mental health situations and stuff like that. But this one, I am going to sing you this one, which is called I Am Worthy, because in my healing journey, I found that the first thing, once you really get in the dark, is you have to believe that you are worthy enough to carry that light within you. Or otherwise, the separateness of the light is just, it's too far away. And that's what I've always struggled with a little bit with Christianity, is this otherness of light. So I'm very much a mystic, which Episcopals are pretty good mystics, right? So this tune just kind of came to me in my dreams, but it's called I Am Worthy. Sacred is my pain, my body, I am worthy. Sacred is my pain, my body, I am worthy. Sacred is my truth, my wisdom, I am worthy. Sacred is my truth, my wisdom, I am worthy. Sacred is my power, my passion, I am worthy. Sacred is my power, my passion, I am worthy. Sacred is my strength, my anger, I am worthy. Sacred is my strength, my anger, I am worthy. Sacred is my breath, my healing, I am worthy. Sacred is my breath, my healing, I am worthy. I am worthy, I am worthy, breathe. I am worthy, I am worthy, breathe. It's just so hard to believe that we're worthy of holding God within us, right? But if we start to, I remember holding my grandmother's heirloom china cup. I love it. It's pink and it's beautiful and gold rimmed, and I was having a cup of tea in the sunlight, and I was sitting there and I was just drinking it. So I love it. I do it for a special time. And I looked at that cup and I was like, well, heck, why don't I treat myself like I'm as fully treasured as I'm treating this beautiful heirloom cup. But we are all that beautiful and that treasured. So I love that imagery. So as that one kind of alluded to, it's really talking about also like really claiming our emotions as sacred. Sacred is my pain, my anger. Those finding, for me, my journey too is actually like really starting to listen to what my body is telling me. And these emotions are there for a reason. All the dark emotions are there to tell us something. And that's really part of that journey is understanding that these emotions are divine too. Even if we're feeling anger, there's a reason for that anger. And for us to kind of sit and contemplate, well, why in the world am I angry? It's been so powerful for me. So I'm going to sing now this song called We Are Sacred. And it really stemmed from my anger. I've done a lot of church music, and so I was playing for a wedding. And I love playing for weddings, and I love playing for funerals. They're just so holy. They're just such a holy time. And so I was playing for a wedding in this church, and this pastor, this bride was so overcome with beautiful emotion. She was crying. And throughout the thing, she had lots of tears. But the preachers started making fun of her crying. She was like, "Oh, you crying again?" Kind of that silly make fun of. And at that point, I got so angry. I got really, really angry. I was like, those tears are holy and beautiful. And all of our emotions are so important to be validated and not shamed, because shame is one of the cruxes of so many things. So this is called We Are Sacred. I think we're good. The sacred tears of the bride, the gut-wrenching sobs of the child, the unshed tears of the man, the unheeded warnings of the land. Sacred, yes, we are sacred. The silent fears of the patient, the estranged needs of a relation, the unspoken grief of the father, the unvoiced screams of the mother. Song thank you. This is so fun. Thank you for having me. In my album, on my journey, another thing that happened besides my mom's diagnosis was a really wonderful friend who I wasn't super close to, but she was just a beautiful light that I was close with when I lived in Memphis. Just a beautiful light. And then she finally decided to be a mom, and she had like 3 little girls. And then she found out that she had terminal cancer. And grief, really, when I was in that dark place, I really went, kind of into a deep place of grief. And for some reason, in there, I was like, what if I can write a song that defines for me what God is? Like, can I encapsulate in a song, like, the essence of God? And I knew I couldn't, but I think something propelled me in that deep grief to try. So I actually wrote the poem of the words that I'm going to read first, and then I'm going to sing you the song, which is the text of the song, just because it's kind of hard to enunciate. So this is entitled Sacred. So, beyond our hearts, our minds, our bodies, yet within. That which has been, that which will be, both present and eternal. A tapestry weaving us together, each soul into beauty. Light, dark, all colors of the world, beyond comprehension, beyond imagination, yet still within us all. Infinitely connected, infinitely unique, infinitely sacred. So this is that song. I'm just gonna get it out just in case. Okay. Beyond our hearts, our minds, our bodies, yet within that which has been and that which will be, both present and eternal, a tapestry weaving us together, each soul into beauty. Light, dark, all colors of the world, beyond comprehension, beyond imagination, yet still within us all. Infinitely connected, infinitely unique, infinitely sacred. Okay, I don't know I have no idea what time it is, so if somebody tells me if I've run out of time. How much time do I have? Okay, great, good. So, let me think. So when, let me tell you just a little bit about this. Leaving the church for me was so hard. It was everything I understood about community, everything I understood about caring, everything I understood about, just the bedrock of community. And with all the lineage, that was pretty hard telling my dad and my mom, hey, I'm not gonna be a church musician. Well, are you gonna go to church somewhere? No, I don't think so, Dad. I need to figure out my own way. And but in that process, I had I had the church job where I really realized that there was something else calling me, and then I did a year-long interim, and that's when the anger just took over with that, what I told you about that, and then also looking at the texts of old hymns that I loved and seeing how they sometimes suppress the voice of the divine feminine. And for me, the divine feminine has just been an anchor for me, especially because, growing up with a dad for a preacher, and two loving, wonderful parents, and mostly in Western Iowa and Denison, and so I kind of just understood, well, God is love, just like my parents, right? And then God the Father, it was there. God the Father is my Father. He's in the pulpit. He's got the robe on. He's got the white collar. And so that when I finally realized how powerful it was for me to think of God as a mother, as this caring, nurturing mom, and also how important it is for us to make sacred our bodies because they give life. In fact, that's like the first time I was pregnant, that was the first time I was like, oh, I got to take care of myself. It's like, oh, maybe I should think about what I'm eating. Maybe I should, So and I'm, and I love being a mom. And so this idea of this maternal energy was so healing. But I'm circling back around to say that, so then I did a third I helped out a church until Christmas time, and they even let me go because by that point, I wasn't sure if that was going to be my last Christmas with my mother, who was very sick. So I said, I'm not going to work. But then I thought I love teaching voice, and so I have voice students, but I was still hesitant about having that be my only income. And so the first church that I worked at down the street just had an organist job open, and I thought, okay, I'll just go be the organist. But there were signs during that interview. I don't have to share all the details, but they weren't very kind about it all. And then they even said, well, you can just be our interim, but you really need to get a degree in organ. I was like, well, why don't you get a different, you can get somebody else. Oh, well, we don't have anyone else. I was like, okay, well, maybe you shouldn't be too choosy and just hire me. But it was just that last knock on me. But every time these knocks happen, they just hit you at the core still, right? So I went home and I was just in tears. I was laying on my couch, and the sun is so important to me. But anyway, it was on my face, and I was just crying. And I just was like, what do I do? What do I do? Why do these doors keep getting shut? And this is the first song, and it just came to me. It was an affirmation, this affirmation, and so I started just singing it to myself, and then I do have a wonderful group at Prairie Woods that we meet every month, and I went up to them and call it the Awakening Energy Group, and I sang it for them, and they all looked at me. They're like, Mary Jane, will you record this for us? And I was like, oh, okay, because I knew I'd always had this goal. I was like, I'm going to make an album by the time I'm 40. And by the time I was already 40. But I knew that was something, and then I thought, aha. And then I met with the head of the music therapy at the university, head of that department, because I thought, well, maybe I should just become a music therapist. And then she said something about, well, yeah, you could just make an album of that mantra and other mantras of your healing journey. And I was like, oh, yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. but so this is what just came to me, and this is where the participatory event comes along. So since y'all didn't have a pianist this morning, right? Okay, so this is very simple. It's I am healing, I am wholeness, I am light, I am love. So what I'm going to do is I'll sing it once through, and then maybe I'll invite you all to sing along with me. All right? So it goes like this. And I'm going to take the strings off. Sorry. It goes like this. I am healing. I am wholeness. I am light. I am love. I am healing, I am wholeness, I am light, I am love. All right? And even if you don't feel like singing, if you maybe want to hum, or you don't have to sing, it's okay. I am healing, I am wholeness, I am light. I am light, I am love, I am healing, I am wholeness, I am light, I am love, I am healing, I am wholeness, I am light, I am love, I am healing, I am wholeness, I am light, I am love, I am healing, I am wholeness, I am light, I am love, I am healing, I am wholeness, I am light, I am love. One more time, nice and soft. I am healing, I am wholeness, I am light, I am love, I am healing, I am wholeness, I am light, I am love. Beautiful. Oh my goodness.
The light coming down your hair.
Oh good, I've got an aura. Oh, well, being with you all is so wonderful. I'm not done if I still have more time. I loved that we all sang together because that's, to me, my whole life, I've been singing with people, my whole life, in churches and schools and in the studio with little preschoolers when I was paying for Montessori. I mean, I've done it all. So, but what is so powerful about church is singing in community, and you all know this. So I want to teach you another one. This is kind of my theme song. I Have a Voice. Now, this one I probably should have printed the words out for you, but I think the first is, I have a voice deep down, whispering within. I have a voice deep down, rising with my hymn. So that part I know y'all can kind of, so I have a voice deep down, whispering within. I have a voice deep down, rising with my hymn. And then I'll sing the litany in the middle, all right? Because there's like 6 things. So, so let's try this. I'll sing it through first. It goes like, ooh, that's my capo. No, aha, there we go. I have a voice deep down, whispering within. I have a voice deep down, rising with my hymn. A voice of truth, a voice of pain, a voice of beauty, a voice of courage, a voice of love, a voice with dignity. So let's try this beginning part. I have a voice deep down, whispering within. I have a voice deep down, rising with my hymn. A voice of truth, a voice of truth, a voice of pain, a voice of beauty, a voice of courage, a voice of love, a voice with dignity. I have a voice deep down, whispering within. I have a voice deep down, rising with my hymn. A voice of truth, a voice of pain, a voice of beauty, a voice of courage, a voice of love, a voice with dignity. I have a voice deep down, whispering within. I have a voice deep down, rising with my hymn. A voice of truth, a voice of pain, a voice of beauty, a voice of courage, a voice of love, a voice with dignity. Thank you. And you can keep singing it over and over again, like the song that never ends, right? Do you remember that one? So now I want to share with you my very mystical song that there's actually a music video that's really cool. If you go to my YouTube channel, and the song is called Gathering. And so I wrote some of this when I went to a kind of a healing women's day retreat that Rippentrop, Betsy Rippentrop, you should tend her. I don't know if you heard, she did really cool work. So it was a day of all women coming together. And let me read the poem. Gathering. tingles on my forehead, a sudden chill rising from my spine, waves of heat colliding downward. A high-pitched whistle of an incessant wind rising and falling. Is it a ghost? Spirits of Mother Earth? Collective screams of suffering housed in women's bodies gathered together? Horror, abuse, neglect, unrecorded, untold, yet passed down. Cellular remembrance of trauma. Rising chatter of voices coming together for connection. Voices starving to be heard, to be shared, to be released. But the stifled scream of my soul is too loud for polite company. The long high note in the opera is encased in beauty. Who wants to hear naked longing, shrill overtones, excruciating pain rising up? What if we did gather, bearing our raw voices loudly, conjuring collective remembrance, nuclear fusion to know, to see, to finally heal? So I know it's a little deep, but really I just feel like, we're all called to heal the wounds of our ancestors. And so gathering together and singing is for me always been one of the most powerful things. So I kind of took that poem and then I wrote this song. So I think I'm just tingles across my forehead, a sudden chill down my spine, spirits swirling about me, impossible to define, sweeping nearer, nearer, a gentle breeze against my skin. Echoes of remembrance conjured deep within. Histories unrecorded, yet felt deep in our bones. Voices that have vanished, yet the pain still silently groans. The rising chatter of voices, starving to be heard. Louder, 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 a hungry flock of birds. What if we gather together and dare to bare our souls, our voices rising in chorus with power to change the world? What if we gathered together and dared to bare our souls, our voices rising in chorus with power to change the world? Sorry. I must be amazing, right? Go watch the video, it's really cool. That one's hard to do in person. So then that's kind of I'm going to save the last tune on the album for, I'm going to sing you just a couple more songs in a row now, just to finish up. But, oh yeah, and I was going to share with you one poem about Christmas trees, because it's Christmas time. So I'm going to share that with you, and then I'm going to sing a few songs, and we'll finish up. So, Christmas trees. Erected green giants, gaudy with lights, shiny and new, while trees newly bare, lonely brown leaves clinging, hold on for dear life as cold seeps in. No more protection, food, visible life. All around we bundle up, bustling around, conjuring superficial cheer, a Band-Aid for our heart wounds. A simple evergreen, lit with candles, illuminates the darkness. Dimly lit, we face our nakedness, showing us wounds to heal, to hold, to caress, to finally set free. Christmas. Yeah. And it's just, there is something we know. I mean, this time is so powerful for humanity, and yeah, that bare Christmas tree with the candle. So I think I'm just going to do two more, because I bet that's how we're at. So I'm actually going to do my newest song, because it goes into the light. And so this is, I'm not sure exactly how it goes, but I've got all the pieces together, so I'll sing it for you. And this is for me, this is actually beyond this album. It's beyond Rising Free. It is the like culmination of us believing that we are the light. We are that light of God fully and completely. So, water, and then I'll sing it. And 1 second, just so I don't. Sorry. I have a brain fart. I am the heartbeat, I am the light, I am the colors, I am the night, I am the waking, I am the sleep, I am enough, more than enough for me. Inside of me, I am the bird singing in the tree. I am the breath of the wind and sea. I am pure joy dancing free. I am the heartbeat, I am the light, I am the colors, I am the night, I am the waking, I am the sleep, I am enough, more than enough for me. light. We are the colors, we are the night. We are the waking, we are the sleep. We are enough, more than enough for me. Yay! Yeah, I love that one. And I'm going to finish now with take us down just a little, and it's called Rising Free. Rising Free. So. Flying free, flying free. Oh, my soul is flying free, flying free, flying free. Oh, my soul is flying free through the dark, through the night, fighting through hell to walk into the light, singing free, singing free. Oh, my soul is singing free through the pain, through the tears. Angels surround as I face my naked fears. Loving free, loving free. Oh, my heart is loving free through the sorrow, through the shame, hugging myself to kindle the flame. Rising free, rising free. Together we are rising free through the wars, through the hate, seeing at last the oneness of our fate. Rising free, rising free. Together we are rising free, rising free, rising free. Together so fun to share with you this morning. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. I know. I should have just showed up early. I should have.